Is Python programming useful for web application development? This is the same question I asked in the last episode if you watch it. And I told you that we will be deploying the number guessing game in episode number 2. Today we will deploy that number guessing game where we worked in episode number 1. This is John, Data Science Career Transition Expert. Let's get into this video. Alright, let's get into this particular teaching. So in the last video, we just worked on this number guessing game. I think my screen is visible to you all. Here I just worked on this particular scripting part, right? So here I just stopped it and I told you that we will be working on deployment. So here, let's go and deploy this particular code in a web application. Alright, when I say web application, how to build a web application? That's what my next question. So to build a web application, we are having many free open source libraries, all right, or open source frameworks which we can just download from internet and we can just go ahead and deploy it. So I'm just going to ask in Google, what are all the Python based web application frameworks? All right, so now the next question comes here. What is this framework? Why do we need to rely on it? So whenever we are going for any deployment, so there is a set of rules and regulations where we have to follow. That's what developers, they developed it and they set us a framework. All right, like this framework, we are having many things. Like here we are having something called as Django, Flask. These are all Python-based web application framework. If you're working in Java, we are having different Java-based web application frameworks because you wanted to deploy it in web application, right? www. So that is a web application. So whenever you wanted to go and deploy it over there, we are having different frameworks. So as we are working in Python, we are having different Python-based web application frameworks. So here we are having Django, Flask, CherryPy, and lot of frameworks are there. So I'm going to pick up one framework which name is Streamlit. Okay, let me just type it. Streamlit. Now what is this particular Streamlit? Why am I going to pick this Streamlit Python based web application framework? Is nothing but Streamlit. Firstly, one disclaimer, Streamlit is not used in production line. Alright, no real-time application has a Streamlit based web application framework. Now then, why are we using it? So when you're working in any companies, all right, so you will be developing your codes, okay, but in order to go and deploy it in web application, you need to know point number 1, HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript, lot of things. Now if you do not know all these things, it becomes very hard for you to build a web application. So at that time, the Streamlit will be really helpful. How? Streamlit has some specific functions. Okay, you just need to know how to call those specific functions so that you can develop a web application and you can deploy it. All right, so this is something which is very much useful for developers to quickly develop a web application. All right, for that purpose, we will be using this. And also for POC development, POC meaning proof of concept. When you get hired as a data scientist or people who are already watching as a data scientist, you all know when you are approaching your manager with a new idea, he will say, hey, come up with a POC. All right, POC meaning not with respect to your scripts. You also need to go and deploy it, just a demo launch you need to do. So for that purpose, this is something which is useful. All right, quickly you can deploy it without HTML Bootstrap knowledge. All right, so now let me click on the Streamlit and let us take a quick read at this documentation. Okay, so do not skip this video. So please stay tuned because you will miss some important concepts here. All right, travel along with me. So in case if you wanted to use it, so this documentation itself says what to do, how to do, and everything. So here it says get started in under a minute. So what to do? Streamlit's open source app framework is a breeze to get started with. Okay. First, we have to install this, copy to clipboard. Now, where to install? The next question. All right. So, let me give you a new point here. In the last episode, we worked on Jupyter Notebook IDE, right? What is an IDE? Integrated Development Environment. What is this integrated development environment? Where you are able to write the script and see the output. We call it as an IDE. Jupyter Notebook, we worked so that you can write the scripts, develop the scripts easily. Okay, for data analysis purpose and developing the scripts, Jupyter Notebook is useful. But with this Jupyter Notebook platform, can you build a web application? The answer is no. All right. For that purpose, you need to rely on some other IDEs like coding platforms. So that's where different IDEs like PyCharm, Sublime, Microsoft Visual Code Studio, Spider, a lot of other IDEs we have, but most commonly used other IDEs for web application development is PyCharm and Visual Code Studio and Sublime also. But here I'm going to choose PyCharm and I'm going to script it over there. In case if this PyCharm is something new, I will also tell you how to install and everything so that you can also take a look at it. So just open a new browser, because I'm relying on another IDE for web application deployment. I can't rely on Jupyter Notebook because Jupyter Notebook doesn't help me for web application development, alright, or else I would have scripted over there itself. So now what I'm doing, I just want to download PyCharm. I just clicked on it. So PyCharm is developed by this JetBrains. Let me click on this. So here if you see, PyCharm has two softwares. One is PyCharm Professional and the other one is PyCharm Community. Now PyCharm Professional, if you see, this comes up with some 30 days trial, and then after that you need to pay. It has a lot of options, but PyCharm Community version itself is more than sufficient for our purposes, alright, for deployment. Okay, so for that purpose you can click on it, you can download it. It's very basic steps. Whatever it asks, just enable all the checkboxes and click on install. Alright, it will download and it will install. And once it installed, now you need to open up this PyCharm. So now I'm just opening up this PyCharm in my local machine. I'm just typing in the Windows search bar PyCharm. I think you might not be able to see, but I'm just opening it. I just typed it, I opened it. Now let me share that particular screen with you all. See this. Alright, I just opened this and I got this notebook. Alright, I got this particular. So for you, what will happen is, it will ask for you to write a new folder name. So basically, so maybe whenever you're opening this for the very first time, it will ask for you. So just note it down, because it is just directly opening me the last file which I just opened. So for you, it will ask you to create a new project. Click on new project, and then it will ask you to write a project title. Just write a project title and click on OK. Alright, so you will get this kind of window. So let me just quickly explain you how exactly this will look like. So on the left hand side, let me just type it. So here you will have all the file names. I just created a project folder with the name number guessing game. So these files are automatically created. And here these are all the other tab buttons already. So here I'm just clicking on terminal so that I will just have the terminal window open. And I don't want this folder option. So I'm just clicking on this minus so that this will go inside. So now I'm having the main scripting area here. And this is my terminal, where exactly I'm able to see the output also here. So in this particular terminal, Python terminal, I wanted to install that Streamlit, right? So if we see this other the Streamlit documentation, it asks us, it asks us pip install Streamlit, right? See, I'm just going to do copy paste, all right, copied, and then I'm just going back to my PyCharm, and here right click, install. Paste, enter. Now it is downloading that Streamlit from the internet. Alright, I never typed any script here. This Streamlit itself, it's getting downloaded from the internet. Alright, and this will take some time, because first it needs to download and then it will try to install. Alright, so now while it is getting installed, it will take 2 to 3 minutes time. I'll try to tell you something. Alright, what is this framework? So here we will be writing our scripts. Alright, so where exactly this will so where we are actually writing the script. So this one we will try to connect with the server. Alright, so here we will be sending the communication. Okay, this is what you need to execute. This is what you need to execute. Alright, so where this PyCharm is called as a client. Client meaning the one who sends. Okay, server meaning where it is actually executing. So for now, client is nothing but PyCharm, this particular program where we are writing. Server is nothing but where we are actually deploying. So here the communication will go to the communication will happen back and forth. Alright, so for that is the advanced understanding of framework, web application framework. There is a server, there is a client. Alright, so where client sends the communication, server captures that communication and tries to execute that. Okay, so for that purpose, so we'll be having all some specific packages. See this, we don't need to write anything from the scratch for web application deployment. So it is just downloading all the necessary packages that it wants. All right, so so now it got successfully installed. Alright, do not skip this, because now after install, now I wanted to see whether this particular Streamlit is properly installed or not. Again, for this, let me go back to the Streamlit. It is saying the next line is Streamlit hello, copy to clipboard, copying it, and then I'm just coming back to this PyCharm, Control V, okay, enter. So now what will happen if I'm just opening this for the first time? It will ask for email ID. Oh, sorry, yeah, it will ask for email ID. Maybe I'll see our email ID is proitybridge@gmail.com. Okay, so now in this particular browser, it will ask for you to allow the access. See this? You will get this window. Click on allow access, and then, sorry, let me reshare it, and then automatically this browser window will get open. Alright, this browser window will get open. Alright, so now if you check your PyCharm, here it says ready to create your own Python application super quickly. So the point is, so this is the, as I said, your client is sending the communication in the server, in the browser, it is getting deployed. So the connection, there is a connection. Okay, now here the connection, we got it. So now here what I want to do is nothing but I'm just clicking on Control plus C. Alright, so that we just got to know Streamlit got installed and the connection is established between the client and the server. Okay, now done. Now our script need to execute in the server, right? For that purpose, I have not written any code. So what I'll do, I'll just click on Control C. Control C meaning stop this communication. Now stopped it. Now here I need to start writing this particular program. Now what I wanted for this number guessing game. So here, let me just go and take a quick read on this. Jump into this documentation in the Streamlit. Alright, so where exactly I opened? So this screen you had. So jump into our documentation. I clicked on it. I got this particular window. So here if you see get started, API reference, lot of things is there. You can just take a read on it. So now I'm just clicking on, let's say, get started. How to install, installation is done. So how to create an app, let me click on this. Alright, first it says import Streamlit SSD, pandas, okay, pandas numpy. So these are all things, okay, they are just doing Uber data, they are running the Uber data, and also another script is also there. But here if you see, there is something called as, let me click on this home. Yeah, here, yeah, the left hand side, the Python Streamlit library section, just click on this API reference. Yeah, so here you're having input widgets, chat elements, control flow, performance, lot of things are advanced components. If you click on this components API, a lot of things are there. All right. So now my program is very simple. I wanted to receive an input from the user, right? For that, I just click on text element because I'll just try to keep a title. Oh yeah. So here it's a title element is there. Let me click on this. How to give a title? So this is the function which is already there. So what I'll do, script is also here. Let me click on copy. I just copied it, and I'm coming back to this PyCharm. So here, Control V. Okay. Now I'll just click on Control S. I saved it. Now in order to run this particular file, because PyCharm number guessing, and this is where my main.py file is available. Okay. So now what I'll do here, I just, in order to run this particular main file, because this is where my actual scripts is available, right? So in order to send this communication, I need to give a command like Streamlit run my file name main.py. Okay. Now let me click on enter. So now again, if you notice, you will see a window will get open. Now if you see, this is a title with italic colors and emojis. Okay. Now see this. In the web application, that is in our local machine, in the browser, whatever we are writing over there, the communication is established, and whatever we are writing in the client, so the server is trying to execute it. Okay. Now I just wanted to change the content. The title I just wanted to give. What is the title? In the fun game, sorry, in the presentation we have seen, in the number guessing game, right? So I'll just say number guessing game. Yeah, fun brains. So here let's take a look onto this. So this was the title. Guess the number, right? Control C. I'm just going to give the same thing. sorry, here I just went and I just this is the website where we have actually played in the last episode. So guess the number as the title. I'm just copying it and I'm just coming here. Let me paste it. Guess the number. And also another title also it was there. Like guess the magician secret number. Copy. That's a subheader basically. So let me use the subheader. Okay, and then sorry, because of the single quotes is coming inside, we need to take the information inside double quotes. Alright, Control S. So now let me come here and once refresh to see this, always rerun. Let me click on it. Okay, guess the number, guess the magician secret number. Whatever we are writing in the client side, the server is trying to execute. Okay, fine. So now what else in the game? So let me click on play now. Alright, so here the rules are actually given. How to play. Maybe if you want, you can actually copy it and paste it over there as a text content. Alright. We guess what number it is. Okay, let me, if you want, you can copy all these things, but I'll just try to keep it very simple. Maybe 1 to 10. Okay, the next content is pick up a number between -1000 to 10,000. So high. Sorry, let me click on this. Again, an ad is coming, but here connection is established. Now the point is, alright, I need to receive an input from the user, right? In the deployment screen, whenever user need to have a box so that he can come and type a number. So for that purpose, let me go to this because that's what the game is, right? If I'm clicking on it, pick an easy level. Let's say 1 to 100. If I'm clicking on this. First, this display message, pick a number between 1 to 10, 1 to 100. We Control C. And then I'm just coming back to this one. Pick an, okay, this has to come inside. This has to come inside the input block, right? But how to receive an input, I wanted to see. So again, I'm just going back to the Streamlit. Go back. Alright. So input, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. Is there anything like input? Okay, here it is not there. Alright. So let me click on text elements, subheader, okay, input widget. So here I'm having input widgets. Let me click on it. Input, I just want to receive a number. So pick a number. So here it is there. And also number input. This is also here. So I'll just click on this. So here we are able to see the script, copy. Let me come back to PyCharm, Control V. Okay, this input Streamlit is already installed. So here insert a number. This is something I'll just change, not insert a number. So where in the deployment window, we had it like pick a number between 1 to 100, right? Control C. So here I'm just going to go back, pick a number between 1 to 100. Alright, so this one, I don't need it. Alright, let me hide it. Control S, I'm saving it. Now I'm just going back to the browser and see. Okay, see this? Always it is just rerunning. Whatever you're writing here, the communication is there. Now you can just give any number. Let's say you want, you can give plus or 50 or whatever. But after entering, what is that something need to happen? So whether the entered number, is it a secret number or not, right? That's what we have to find out. So for that, first you need to declare one number. Okay, maybe before getting a number, I'll say secret number. Secret number is equal to, maybe I'll say it is 40. Okay. Now this one is nothing but this is the user guess number. User guess. I'll say user guess. Okay. Now I need to have a button, right? So once user comes and clicks on this, so where is that button? How can I take a button? Is it available here? Let me go back once. Streamlit, input widgets. Yeah, st dot button. St meaning Streamlit. Okay, this is a script. Let me scroll down. Okay, let me copy. There is a script. come back here. Let me paste it. Okay, import Streamlit is already done. Now if button, that button name is nothing but say hello, write why hello. If that button is clicked, why hello, else goodbye. Meaning this message, goodbye, it will be a default message, right? So let me click on Control S and let me go back to the browser and check whether that button is visible or not. Yeah, see this? Say hello is the button 9. If I'm clicking on it, why hello? So that's what the default is scripting, right? But I don't want that. I just wanted to change it. So what I'll do, I'm just going to change. Say hello. I don't want, let's say, guess. Alright, maybe guess. Okay. If that guess button, if it is clicked, what need to be done? Let me just, if that is clicked. Alright, we have already written the logic here. If that is clicked, alright, now let me take this. Control C. Come back here. Now what I want to do, if it is clicked, Control V. If user guess, if it is equal to that secret number, print congratulations. Now if you see Control S, it will throw you an error. Okay, see this, it will throw you an error saying print congratulations, it will not come because, see this, 1 minute. Yeah, here if you see this, it is not working because this is a Streamlit, right? So Streamlit has some rules. If you want, if button is clicked, what it need to print, there is a rule, correct? So for that, we can't use print in Streamlit framework. We need to use st.write, correct? That's what here also write, st.write. So now instead of print, I'll say streamlit.write. Okay, if the button is print, clicked, do this. Else meaning if user guess if it is equal to secret number. Else what it need to be done. Let me go back and see the logic. What we already did. So I'll say sorry, your guess is wrong. Control C. Oops, 1 minute. Control C. Let me come back here. Else I'll just give it. And this else block is when button is, see this. Once button has to be clicked, only then this will happen, right? So I'm just taking the if else block inside this. Okay. Now let me click on Control S. And then, well, let's look onto the logic. Okay, user will be coming and giving a number input. It will store into user. Once that button is clicked, if user guess if it is equal to secret number, congratulations message is sorry, your guess is wrong. Okay. Now let me just go back and check out. Yes, go once refresh. Let me say the user gets 60. Guess, sorry, your guess is wrong. Okay, it is 30. Sorry, your guess is wrong. The actual number is 40, is it? Yeah, 40, your guess is right. So now that's it. Okay, so now in a web application, without knowing HTML, without knowing CSS, without knowing Bootstrap, you are able to deploy this application, all right, in our local machine, not in the cloud. All right, in the later videos, I'll also show you how can we deploy it in the cloud also, all right, do not worry. But my point is, Python is useful for web application development as well. So this is a web application. Without knowing any Python, even deployment coding, we just took support of Streamlit, which is a web application framework, and we just called a few functions. We established the connection between them, and also we went and deployed it. All right, and the advanced version of this is nothing but if and break. All right, where you can just give a number and it will create a box, and that also we can do. That's just a logic. All right, but my goal is nothing but in this particular mini fun project, I just wanted to tell you that with respect to Python programming, we can go for web application development as well. In the last video, we just worked on this Jupyter Notebook scripting, where the scripting, the answer is only here with this Jupyter Notebook. But from the user perspective, we think nobody will just stick to use. The user need an output screen. Like in a YouTube, we are seeing the YouTube and we are clicking on it. That's what as a user we wanted. We don't need the code, whatever it is behind them, how lengthy they are writing, we don't need it. So as a user, if it is recommending the best videos, that is fine for me. Now as a user, I'm able to get the logic outside. Alright. So, and also with 7 turns, 8 turns also we can do. Alright. Maybe in the next video, I'll just try to include how is this seeing you will have only 7 turns. Like whenever I'm just entering 15, it will say, pick a number, you have only 6 turns. It's a low guess. Maybe I'll just guess 70. If it says high guess, 70 is too high. Okay, maybe low number I need to guess it out. 30. 30 is too low. The number is between 30 to 50, meaning this number is getting decremented, right? How it is getting decremented, if I'm able to find the right number, what will be the logic? In the next video, I'll be showing you. Alright, so stay tuned with this particular channel. So I think you got an understanding how Python is useful for data analysis, logical programming, and also for web application deployment. Hope this video helped you. In case if you have any questions related to deployment or something, or if you have any error, feel free to post it in the comment section below. And also please do share among your friends if you find that this is a useful content for you and also for them. All right, thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye.